Well, it's another one of them shitty days outside. So we're going to be back to working on some projects. Now what we've got is, if you remember the last video dealing with Hawkeye, the JE21 rigger, the ESC capacitor, the capacitor on the ESC popped. I was originally going to run this. This is a 2650 kV Leopard hobby motor. And what I'm thinking about doing is replacing it. I want to take it out. And because I'm going to go in with the big Castle XLX2, I went ahead and made some pretty long leads on it. Some to where I can put the ESC up here, give me more nose weight, and then the battery can go back here. I just need that much of a lead to get to it. And I opted to use number 8 cable. Had to wait for that to come in, but we've got it all soldered on really well. Now I'm going to do something absolutely crazy. I'm going to take the big giant Tenshock motor and we're going to put it in this thing. This is a 1750 kV and I believe it's a 4090 motor. So this is their heavy duty HD version. So the reason why I'm doing it is because I don't have the adapter to go from 6 mils to 8 mils. I've got all sorts of stuff that I could desolder and take apart and make it work. But I already have these connectors made, which are 8mm to 5.5. And I figured since the Tenshock motor's already got 5.5s on it, and I haven't run this, and I know a lot of people would want to see it, let's go ahead and do it. Why not, you know? And I think the extended shaft here is going to help me get a little bit more gap on the end of this, which I believe I needed. Another thing we're going to do is, once I take the motor out, we're going to take it out in the garage, we're going to get the oscillating tool, we're going to cut this battery tray out to where I get a little bit lower, because we've got a 4S pack here and we've got a 6S pack here that are basically the same size. And that's the biggest that you can fit in this battery tray. So I want to cut these two supports out and remove the tray. And then I want to use heavy duty Velcro on the bottom of the boat and on the battery to hold the battery in place. So that's what I'm going to be working on. And first things first is we need to take this motor out. And once the motor gets out, then we can take it outside and we can take the oscillating vibrating tool and cut out that battery tray. These here were the bolts that held in the Leopard motor. I went ahead and re-drilled the motor mount to where the bigger bolts here will work on the Tenshock. Since this motor is so heavy, they give you, I believe they give you 2 holes, which are these holes right here where my fingers are. Those are the big 4mm holes, and then these over here are 3mm holes. So I can put in my 4mm screws, which are these here, along with some washers, and that should hold it. I went ahead and took the drill bit and I drilled it. I've got a little bit of debris there. Need to get in there and get that out. But we should be good. Bigger bolts are going to be better. These bigger Allens will be so much better to handle all that weight. This thing just likes rolling around. But yeah, I'm excited to run this motor. Cool. Well, before I mount it, we need to go ahead and take it outside and start working on this battery tray. I opted to take off the cooling sleeve, which, since this is an actual 40 series can now instead of a 38, we can use any 40 series can we want. But I actually like the Tenshock can because it has a baffle in there which only allows water to pass through right there on the bottom. So it's going to fill the whole canister up, which is going to cool the motor better. Another thing I noticed that they did with these is we have a double barb fitting, which will fit both sides cooling tubes, and it's threaded into the base. The old ones, I believe, were glued in, and these, you can tell, are screwed in. So a far superior cooling can. Now another issue we have is 2260 HP, 1750 kV. The shaft is a little too long for what I need. So we're going to have to go ahead and grind it down. That's the reason for taking it out of the cooling jacket. We're going to go ahead and slip it in this bag, puncture it through the end like so. We'll seal this puppy up. Then we're going to take it over to the grinder. We're going to grind it off. Alright, got that all done. Sweet. Now she's shorter at least. Trying to get it either equal or a little bit shorter than the shaft on this motor. Let's see. Perfect. Just a smidge shorter. It should allow me to actually take the collet off while it's in the boat. Let's see here. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Well, it looks like I've left my oscillating tool at work. I had to take it in for something my dad had a project for. So I don't have it on hand here at my home. So it looks like we're going to use the old trusty Dremel with this wheel. I think I can get this in there. It'll probably ride on the tip of that if I can keep it stationary. And I can get in there and I can cut these little tracks out. And I'll be able to cut that out, and cut that other support brace out. Wish I had my oscillating tool. It's been about an hour and I got everything kind of cut out, broke out, ground down. Here were those pieces. And then I took it outside my garage. I blew it out with air, washed it out, rinsed it out, dried it off, put it in front of a heater to where everything would dry again. And then I started looking at this rear strut. It's got a little slight bend this way, and I don't really like that. You know, this strut design is absolutely asinine to think that something like this is going to hold from the side. I mean, you can't really tell it from the camera's perspective, but just based on right here, you can tell that it's pointing to the left, just ever so slightly. But I had bought this in order to replace it in the future, and I'm not going to jump the gun and just do it now. I want to use this piece at least for a little while, get some runs in it, and you know, run 4 or 5 packs through it, see what kind of top speed I can get with this, see if I can get it set up good, and then we'll go ahead and we'll change this strut out. I've got a few different selections to choose from, this being one of them. This is can't tell. Yeah, it's smooth, it's round on the bottom and it's flat on the sides, but it wouldn't matter, it's all going to ride inside this key anyways. Let's see if this would actually, yeah, alright, that looks like it would be fine. I would maybe have to shorten the stuffing tube just a little, but to match the ends, that looks okay. Alright, and see, this right here already has the bushing on the inside, which is nice. Is it the same size bushing? Yeah, it looks the same size. We'd have to spec it out. Okay, a little tight, but not bad. Not bad. I'll leave that there for right now. Got grease on my hand. Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I don't like the 2 bolts. I should have 4. Seems like those 2 will line up, which would be nice. If I could utilize those 2, it would be really, really simple. It would make shit so easy. Because I followed the kit, you know, 95% to a T. And the way this is, they've got these damn wood locking nuts on the back. And I don't know how hard it would be to get those back out. Because as I was cinching them down, you know, I was tightening them down to draw them in. I went ahead and put super glue on them. So I don't know how easy they would be to get back off. But okay, so we've done everything we needed to do there. Let's go ahead. We're going to start the process of mounting the XLX2. This is going to come through here like so. Okay. Need to make sure. Okay, that'll be good. I'll probably hold that down with double-sided tape rather than Velcro because it will be less height. Maybe even do it with silicone, because you can break silicone free, but it'll actually be strong enough to hold it. Already tightened on there. The shaft has been shortened. I just want to kind of get an eyeball idea. I'll probably have to split one of those like so. Okay, that looks about like it. The motor in the front will have to be raised up. Right now it's just kind of chilling on the shaft. You can see it's drooped down a little bit, but I think we will be good to go. And then the Hydra itself can be moved forward like that. And then we've got 90-degree fittings coming for this. So it looks like the best option here is to keep it on the left-hand side. Just for all intensive purposes, the wires run in this direction, and the cooling needs to be able to connect to the jacket and the ESC and all that. So we're going to run it into the ESC, out of the ESC, through the bottom portion of the cooling jacket, and then we're going to exit. We'll exit out of the top of the cooling jacket. But right now I don't have the cooling jacket on because I was actually test fitting a couple different ones. And they do, in fact, this does in fact fit the Tenshock motor, but doesn't really make a difference. Only thing I see is they're opposed to one another. So this one exits on the left, or the bottom one here exits on the right, and vice versa. So if you flip it like so, exits on the left, exits on the right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna determine whether or not which one of these will be more suitable to my situation to allow enough room in there. Because if we're gonna fill it from the bottom, that actually seems like the best solution. Because if you do it this way, then your nipples are actually in the opposite way that they need to be, if that makes any sense. But okay, we'll learn more. We've got a tight fit here. We got to make everything fit. First thing we're going to mount is going to be the motor. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little extra. I'm going to use 4 screws. I'm going to use some 3mm screws, and I'm going to use 4mm screws. Since this motor's got so many bolt holes on the front, we're going to use 2 of the big ones and then 2 of the small ones. And I think that'll be beneficial. Hopefully this whole aluminum bracket doesn't break out. That is my worry, and this is a heavy motor. That was kind of the opposite as to why I was trying to go with this motor here, which is a 4074, because it's smaller, a little bit less weight. But screw it. Got it in, boys. Got it in. I'm gonna wait for my next order to show up from Offshore Electrics, because that's gonna be giving me the 90-degree fittings for this. I just ordered some, but I ended up having to use them on the Cheetah with the twin X8Ss. But looks like my little adapters were perfect length, and it fits beautifully. As far as the length of these wires, not really a huge fan of that, but this will go down under like so. Enough room for the batteries. I still got to get my Velcro and put it in here, but that's basically done. Another thing I'd ordered is some aluminum tubing, so we're going to run one long stick of aluminum tubing straight up for the cooling. Haven't really decided where I want to put that just yet, but I do have all these holes here from the old ESC, and I could run it through here up this direction and then make a loop and then boom into the ESC, or just straight into the ESC. Just, you know, don't know until I get it, you know. But that'll make a good connection there. Number 8 wire should be able to carry the amperage. This motor probably won't pull crazy high amps. Something I noticed about the last Tenshocks. They were powerhouses that didn't pull like insane amperage. So let's go ahead and see if this fits. Make sure nothing else is exposed. Okay. Trying to see. I may have to go in here and trim some of the edge of this up, because it's right now it's hitting somewhere. Need to be able to see exactly where it's hitting to know what I need to do. Oh wow, look at that. It's hitting my motor leads. So you know what I might have to do? I might have to make new ones of these and angle them. Either that, I might be able to heat those up and tip them at an angle. But that's the issue, because when I designed this, I designed it for the other ESC, not thinking about that. So, looks like that's what we're going to have to do, folks. Unfortunately. I don't know. I have a hard time reheating those bullets. I just feel like using new ones would be the best option. And then we'll make sure we keep them at an angle. I think I've got some number 10 wire I can use. And then the Tenshock motor did come with its own set of bullets, because those and that are not Tenshock bullets. Okay, here we are. Yeah, gotcha. I've got 8. Oh, that's 10 right there. That might be 10, this castle. Just don't like using red wire. We'll see. I'll go ahead and slice these open. We'll see if number 8 works better or number 10 works better. But yeah, cool. Fresh, baby, fresh. Alright, well, been working for the last couple hours, and this is what I ended up coming up with. And that's how she is. I've got that double-sided tape down to where that's not going to move. The battery wire goes under. It'll hook there. And then I still, what did I do with my, there it is. I gotta put this down for the batteries. There's some high quality stuff here. Well, looks like we're good to go. All I really got to do is just dress up some cooling tubes. But it's raining, so we're not going to have any luck running this today. Maybe tomorrow it'll be a little bit better. Still got to plug this in, and then we'll just run that through here. And I think it stops here, which what I'll do is I will just I'll use this as my extension. And that'll get me data logging, and it'll get me the distance that I need to make it that far. Oh yeah, I damn near can reach it. If I move the receiver a little bit, I'll be all right. But right now it's behind where the battery will be, so we'll be good to go there. So what I think I'll do is, I got 2 of these. Believe it or not, this massive 8200 brick will actually fit in here, which is kind of amazing. I've already test fit it. Even if I put this stuff on the bottom of the battery, I still got enough room for it to clear. But this thing is just so much weight. I don't think we'll need all that punch. So what we'll do is we'll probably designate 3 different batteries for the rigger. There's a 3S pack, but this thing ain't gonna go very fast on 3S. And then I'm gonna designate the 6200s. Those are gonna be for the Cheetah, and we'll use those over there for that. And let's see, always gotta keep that on hand. That's a 3. I wish I had these in 4S. That would be really good. I'll have to check. I have to check to see if these will fit. Well, they won't fit that direction, but they will fit that direction. Ugh, that's just so much space lost in the case. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. It's getting a little late. I've been working on this in and out throughout the day. And if we get some free time tomorrow and it's not raining and it's not 33 degrees and raining, we'll take this thing out for a rip. So thank y'all for watching. See y'all later.